And he goes on, 13:4, the noise of the multitude of the mountains, like as of a great people, tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations, gathered together. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. They want to destroy the whole land. They want to destroy the state of Israel, and they want to destroy Western European Israelite nations. And another possibility is that they indicated that ecological disasters could result in the mass migration of Asiatic peoples from China, from Asia, from Africa, Europe even, that they all want to go to Western Europe and to the Middle East, where the state of Israel is, because something is happening in their own lands that is propelling them forward. That today we see that is a possibility, and we see a foreshadowing of this even now in the streaming into Europe of immigrants from third world countries, which is already causing problems. Now, Isaiah 13:60 says, "Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt. They shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as the woman that travaileth. The woman is giving birth. They shall be afflicted. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames." This could be the effects of biological warfare, of other calamities, nuclear devastation. Jeremiah chapter 26 also speaks of this. Isaiah 13:9 continues, "Behold, the day of the Lord comes cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to make the land desolate." The word for land is aretz, can also refer to the whole earth. The word says land, it says, according to the context, it can be referring to the whole earth, or the whole region concerned. "And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it." 13:10, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." Will be changes in the heavens, effects in the atmosphere of nuclear disasters, astronomical catastrophes. Emmanuel Velikovsky spoke of this. He spoke of this happening in the past, and it could happen in the future. The work of Velikovsky is important. We don't agree with a good portion of it, but what we do agree with is very important. It's also important that he shows how the present-day chronology of Asian history is wrong and should be corrected, should be changed. They threw in a few hundred years up there in the past that didn't exist. So we want to understand what happened in the past. We have to take them out. And it's not an easy task, but it should be done. And Velikovsky pointed out why his alternate solution may not be workable, but it's probably closer to the event, to what really happened, to what is really needed than the present system. At all events, 13:11, Isaiah 13:11 says, "I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." Pride is very damaging. We all have pride. We need pride. You need a certain degree of pride to get by, to survive. But most of us have more than we need. We haven't been given a generous portion, one could say. So we have to lower ourselves a little bit. Otherwise, reality will lower us. And the Bible speaks against it. 13:12, it says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir." Speaks of Ophir. Ophir, the name Ophir is often taken to refer to Africa. The very name Africa may be derived from the term Ophir, and this may be referring to an area of South Africa where they mine gold. The recent article in a video clip of ours, we showed how in the terminology of the sages, and also in the terminology of the Greeks of that time, who were the intellectual elites, one could say, of the Roman Empire. Africa is referred to as Afriki, and Afriki, and Africa, the two terms were interchangeable, could also refer to Western Europe, the Western Atlantic coast of Europe, and to the British Isles. And Ophir was the name Ophir in the Bible is what probably gave rise to the term Africa, and Ophir was known for gold. And the gold was found in South Africa. It's also found apparently in parts of Europe, especially in Ireland. Ireland had an enormous amount of gold in the Bronze Age. Archaeologists find shields and implements made out of gold. Very finely works of art. In large quantities in Ireland. And so many of these artifacts have been found that the experts say that they must have come from Ireland, or from somewhere very close together, or from somewhere very close to it. They used to find gold in Cornwall. Cornwall is known for tin and lead, mainly for tin, but also the deposits of gold there. Cornwall in the southwest of England. Britain was known for its minerals. It also had copper. The largest reserves of copper in the world were in the Great Orme mines on the west coast of Wales. And these copper mines were by captives from the Lost Hand tribes. The Syrians captured the Lost Hand tribes and took them to areas of the Syrian Empire, and some of them were taken away by proxies, Phoenician and Edomite proxies working on behalf of Assyria. Took some of them to the British Isles and to Ireland. And the Great Orme mines, they used especially children to dig copper. That was where a good portion of the copper used in the ancient world was to be found. It's quite close to Cornwall. Cornwall had tin, and copper and tin together make bronze, which was the chief metal used at that time, so it was very important. And so too nearby the Great Orme mines is the Isle of Anglesey, known in Roman times as Mona. This was the centre of the Druidic religion. The Druid religion was a religion amongst the Celts, especially amongst the British. Caesar says that anyone who wanted to learn in depth about the Druid religion went to Britain to learn it. And this religion was a combination of pagan Canaanite practices together with biblical ones. So this too in its own way is a proof of Israelite connections. And nearby to the Great Orme mine are the remains of a nation settlement, Bronze Age Iron Age settlement, which is, according to local tradition, was that of Jews. In Gentile terminology, the term Jews also applies to Israelites from the 10 tribes of Israel. They referred to it as Chaos Zion, in other words, the city or the walled town of Zion. And the remains are still there. So getting back to Ireland, as we said, Ireland is believed to have had a great deal of gold in ancient times. There's even a Wikipedia article about it. Artifacts from Ireland from the Bronze Age have been found in gold of very high quality. And also now gold is found in different parts of Ireland, especially on the east coast, but also in Ulster. The largest mine, which produces quite a lot, is to be found in the county of Monaghan in Ireland, but bordering on North Ireland. And it's believed to have much more there than has been found. And much more could be found, but the Irish government put out a law saying that all gold found in Ireland is the property of the Irish government. So people haven't got any incentive to look for it. So, in my opinion, they should change it. You have to take account of natural desires and natural impulses of human beings. And if someone is going to look for gold, they should at least get a reasonable percentage of what they find for themselves, for their own pockets. But it seems obvious that maybe they don't want it that way. All at all events, that is the reality. And Isaiah continues 13:13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath, that is anger of the Lord of hosts. And in the day of his fierce anger, 13:14, it shall be as a chased roe, that is a female deer, and as a sheep that no man lifts up. Then shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. All these foreigners, all these peoples from other areas who are coming into Europe and so on, they will want to go back when things go bad. They will flee back according to this. They will return to the places that they came from. And if they don't, many of them will be killed. Isaiah 13:15, everyone who is found shall be thrust through. Everyone who is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, and the people themselves shall suffer from disasters. 13:16, their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives raped. 13:17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Media was to the northwest of Iran, present-day Iran, and Media. The Medes were descended from Japhet, as we said, the ancestors of all humanity come from Shem, Ham, and Japhet, the sons of Noah. So Shem, Ham, and Japhet, Israelites are descended from Shem. Many Europeans and nations are descended from Japhet, and many of the Africans, of the darker peoples, are from Ham. But all the peoples of Europe, to some degree, have been mixed up. The Assyrians especially specialized in this. They would conquer an area and take people from one place and settle them in another place, and mix all the peoples up to some degree. Also, sometimes they would take females from one area and put them with males from another area. So you have intermixtures. And this actually could explain a lot of things. It could explain the existence of the Aborigines, who come from a lot of different peoples, mixed together, Australian Aborigines. But they all have a similar culture, all very primitive, and it could be that maybe the Assyrians took little children from different peoples and dumped them all in Australia, so they had to grow up without any adult supervision, without learning from their adults. So this could explain a lot of things. That is an idea. We should be open to considering the solutions provided by the Bible and by related sources. And in the area of Iran, present-day Iran, it was formerly known as Persia. The majority of the people, even though they had a good influx, a good portion of them were from Media, the majority were from Elam. Elam was a descendant of Shem, and also descendants of Cush. Amongst them, especially in the region of Khuzestan, which was once known as Cush, there was a city known as Susa. Susa is another name for Shushan. The book of Esther, at the time of Queen Esther and King Ahasuerus of Persia, Shushan was the capital of the Persian Empire at that time. We also find the possibility of descendants of Medes amongst the Baltic peoples. There's Lithuanians, Latvians, and related groups, and their language is similar to that of the ancient Medes, especially that of Lithuania. So this is a possibility, and also perhaps amongst portions of the Slavic peoples in general, you have descendants of the Medes. And they are described as in the future being very cruel. Isaiah 13:18, their bows shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Little babies, their pregnant women, their eyes shall not spare children. They shall destroy Babylon. See Isaiah 13:19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency. The word translated as Chaldees, in Hebrew is Kazdim. And this is found throughout Asian literature. Why the Kazdim are called Chaldees, I don't know, but they do. That is a common interpretation, translation of the name Kazdim is Chaldee, or Chaldi. And he says that the destruction of Babylon will be the same as the overthrowing of Sodom and Gomorrah, which were destroyed utterly in ways that look like the effects of an earthquake, and also similar to those that could be caused by atomic explosions. And then it says 13:20, it shall never be inhabited, that is Babylon, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pigs tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their flock there. So the ruins of ancient Babylon are still to be seen. According to a book that I once read by Warner Keller, the Bible, discussing points relating to the Bible, he says that the site of ancient Babylon was deserted. The local Arabs and only people found nearby, and they are afraid to encamp there, and or even near there. And so that is a way of prophecy. The prophet takes something that he sees before his eyes that he can extrapolate to the future. But then you see that it's applied to something way, way beyond the specific, particular point he is begun with. And it says, wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs, so there's demons, or they shall dance there. The wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desert houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. The time is near to come, and the days shall not be prolonged. It will not take a long time. The suffering will be shortened. And he says, the mountains, that is, weasels shall dwell there, and the houses shall be filled with ferrets, with wild beasts. And ostriches shall dwell there, and satyrs, that is, demon-type creatures, shall dwell therein. And so that is it. That is what is prophesied concerning Babylon. As we said, there are similarities. Babylon in the Bible is often synonymous or interchangeable with Edom. Edom may be identified with Germany or with other elements in Europe, or both of them. And the Nazis in their time did have plans to rebuild Berlin and call it Germania and make it the center of the world. And their designers had the concept of Babylon in mind. And even the present EU and their bureaucrats also have the idea of reconstructing Babylon through Europe, through continental Europe. So that is something to take into consideration. Thank you. May the Lord God of Israel bless you.